Hey you guys, how's it going? Today I'm not on my bike. I'm driving, and I have a reason for that. Last Sunday I was riding and going to my friend's house. We were gonna meet up to go riding together, and almost to her house, my bike just died on me, and then it died on me like right under a bridge. So I had to push it to the side and park it, and it did not want to start up, like right when it stopped running, because usually it starts right away, but it didn't want to run. So I did the basic stuff, try to get it going, but it just wouldn't start. So I left it there overnight. My friend gave me a ride back home, and I left it there overnight. And then the next day I went to go see, try to see if I can, get it going, and, just see what could be wrong with it. And when I got there, I had noticed that my front brake lever was bent. And I was like, great, somebody backed into it. So I was like, this sucks. And the right handlebar, there's like a little piece and it has an edge to it, that was all scraped up. And so before I left it there the previous night, I locked the handlebars, so if safety reasons, just in case. And when I unlocked those handlebars to straighten out the bars, it was really hard to get them straightened up. And then I couldn't even turn it all the way to the right. I was like, these people, whoever backed up into my bike, I thought they probably messed up. They hit it really hard that it hit my handlebars, making the triple tree like just really bent. So I was like, this is unreal. And so I was like, okay, I left that how it is, and then just started diagnosing, any possible things that could have happened to my bike. I have no clue what could be wrong with that VT. So the thing is, when I was riding, I don't think it's fuel, because when I was riding, when it's a fuel problem or a car problem, like when you're riding, it's hesitant and it bogs down, and I was not getting any signs of that. And like just before it died, I must have done maybe 4 miles or 5 miles on it before it died. So just right before I filled it up with gas. The tank is full. I really honestly don't think it's a fuel problem, but I'm gonna check it right now and see. I'm actually on my way over there to take another look at it, because I did buy new spark plugs. That bike has 4 spark plugs, so I have 4 new ones. And then so fuel, I don't think that's the problem. I brought my compression tester to try to check compression on both cylinders, and what I think it is, I think my ignition coils are bad. They must have died out when I and it's not the battery, because when I went to go take it, on Sunday, that previous night, I charged the previous night I charged the battery. So that battery is it was charged. The thing is, there's like one cell that has a little bit of more of fluid in it. So I'm not sure, maybe that one cell could have, like, if that one cell has more than the max allowance of fluid in that compartment, and maybe it must have overcharged my bike and just burnt the coils. That's a possibility. I'm not 100% sure. Also, I'm 80% sure that that bike has a CDI box, and I don't know much about CDI boxes, but I've heard that there's no way in testing those CDI boxes. I've heard once they're dead, they're dead. You have to buy a new one. So I'm on my way over there to test the ignition coils and to change out those new plugs. And today is Black Friday, so it's been there for this whole past week. And then I moved my bike so it won't be in where it was. I think I went a little bit ahead of myself. So the reason why my handlebars did not want to straighten out, and it was a problem in turning them right, it was so hard. I believe that somebody tried to steal it, because as I was working on the bike more, I kept thinking, like, why are my handlebars so hard to turn right? It wasn't like that when I was riding it that day. And then there's a little metal part that's close to the triple tree and the front end of that of the frame. It was bent. And I truly don't think someone backing up into my bike would cause that bent. So I was like, my guess is that somebody tried to steal my bike, and they probably messed with the keyhole, and because I locked my handlebars, and I'm guessing they tried to pry it open and failed, bent that piece of metal that was near my handlebars and the triple tree that made my handlebars not want to turn right. So that's my guess. The reason for my front brake lever being bent, I really don't know. Maybe they tried to take it being locked, the handlebars locked like that, but they failed, and it must have dropped on them, and the reason why that lever is bent, which it totally sucks. The thing is, when that day when it first died out, and I just left it there, I did the mistake of just leaving it in that street, which is it's called Western Street, and it's a pretty big street here in Chicago. So it was really visible. And I did not have a cover for it. So like, there's a lot of people that drive through that street, so it's really visible. So I mean, any thief just drives around would see it, and they would try to steal it. So the next day when I went over to check it out, I moved it into a smaller street nearby, and I covered it. Since I went to go see if I could get it to go, and it didn't want to go, so I just put the cover for it and left it there until, you know, I asked my brother if he could help me to go pick it up, because he has a van. So I'm on my way right now to do those things, and if I can't get it running, he said that he can help me later on pick it up, because he's working right now. So I was actually gonna call a tow truck, okay, the first thing I'm going to do right now is going to test my ignition coils, and I brought my service manual right here along with my other tools. So just gonna test my coils right here. They're right here, 2 of them for each cylinder. And so I'm gonna have to disconnect these leads and do a little test with my multimeter. So I'll get back to you guys with that. Okay, so right here I have one ignition coil which came, I believe, the front end of the engine, and I have my manual right here. So there's 2 tests to make. First, I'm going to do the primary test. So just gonna switch my multimeter into ohms, and it's on the 200. And then the primary test is, first thing I'm going to do is connect my leads into these little sides right here. So, and then on my manual, it says it's supposed to be 2.0 ohms for my specific bike, and it doesn't matter which goes on which side. So let's see if I can do this using one hand. Oh, I have to put you down for a minute because I can't do, I need both hands. So on the primary reading, I am getting a resistance of 2.1, which is a little high. Let me test it again. 2.2, 2.1. That's a little high. It's 2.1. Okay, now we're going to test the secondary. And right here in the manual it says, measure the secondary coil resistance with the spark plug caps in place. And that's going to be 29 to 40K ohms. So we're going to have to switch this to the 20K, because our reading is supposed to be 29 to 40K ohms. So, and then I'm going to get both spark plugs and just stick these leads in here. Okay, there's one inside, and then I'm gonna stick the -2 here, and I'm gonna have to place you guys down and check my reading. This is so hard. And look, this spark plug is actually broken, so that's not good. Sorry, like I'm fumbling stuff like crazy. It's just so hard. I'm not getting a reading at all. Yep. So my worst fears has come true. The ignition coils I shot. I'll have to purchase new ones. And I didn't even change out the spark plugs because without ignition coils, it's like it's useless to try to see if there's sparks. So it sucks because that piece is expensive. But tonight my brother's gonna help me pick up the bike tonight and take it home because I'm somewhere not even close to my house. And let me show you how, look, whoever backed up into my bike did this or tried to steal it. And there was a little plastic piece right here, and that was all scratched up, and I took it out. And this is the part that the metal part which I think these thieves tried to pry it open. It was pushed more to this side, to the right, and I hammered it back into place just so now like I can turn my handlebars to the right. And I don't know if you can see, but back there, like, see, that's like it was rubbing against this piece, and that's why it's all like it's scratched up. I really don't know if you'll be able to see that, but yeah. So, and then I put my key in and to lock it right here, and I'm not able to do that because whoever was messing with this, trying to steal it, I'm not able to do it anymore. So I'm gonna have to maybe end up getting a new ignition switch and a compartment, or however you say it. I'm not gonna be able to use this piece anymore. But it still turns on, but I can't lock the steering wheel, which sucks. But yeah. So I took one of the coils out to take it home. I tried to take this one out, but I would have to like take the whole tank off, and I don't want to do that right now. It's just a big process. But yeah, I knew it was an electrical issue from the beginning. And yeah, the first coil that I tested, the primary was getting 2.1 ohms, and that was a little bit high. And then I wasn't getting any continuity or any resistance on the secondary. And then on this other coil, which is for, and they're labeled. See, this is RR is rear right, so it's for the rear cylinder, right side. The primary reading was 2.0 and 2.1, which is just about within spec. But the secondary reading, it was so erratic. It was like giving me numbers, and it was like just random numbers. So I'm gonna have to get new coils, you guys, and it sucks because expensive piece each one, and order time is gonna probably take 2 weeks. So, and it so sucks because right now it's so beautiful outside. The high is going to be 60 degrees. And then the next week is going to be average of 50 degrees. So it sucks. Like, I'm dying that I can't ride right now. So I wasn't able to get that bike running. I did the testing on the ignition coils, and both of those are shot. So ordering new ones of those. And yeah, it sucks, you know, having troubles with my bike. my new to me bike. But when it comes down to things like this, I always ask myself, you know, yeah, it sucks that this happens, but what's a positive side of this? What do I get out of this? And so it's just more knowledge, you know. You know, before I didn't know how to do a testing on the ignition coils. I actually really suck on anything electrical, anything that has to do with the electrical parts on motorcycles. So, you know, this is a learning experience. So, you know, now I know how to test these coils and see if they're good or bad. And it's just, and then just learning new things on this bike. There's still a lot of things that I still need to learn on this new bike, on the vt500. Yeah, it's always good to know, you know, learn new things. And, you know, just working on, you know, the thing is with me, I don't mind learning new things, especially when it comes to bikes. So it just sucks that I can't ride on this day, but hopefully you guys are having a good week, good Thanksgiving you guys had, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.